Christmas gifts got here early. 12 mystery novellas, 12 days to read them. Can we actually do it? Everybody, welcome back to my channel. We are back in the YouTube era and I'm kicking off my return to making videos on here with a fun little reading challenge that I am going to be doing. I bought the 12 novella mystery set from Probably Smut. It was $140 for 12 novellas and I'm gonna try to read them in 12 days. When I got an email about this set, I was so freaking excited because it is exactly the kind of thing that I have been wanting to do, a fun reading challenge with special edition novellas. So Probably Smut is a special edition book box subscription, so every single month I get a new book in the mail with a exclusive cover, and they are doing a novella collection. They're all a mystery and they all have special covers on them, which I'm really excited for. So let's open this up. It came in this really cute box. Just open her up and see what we've got. And here are the novellas. This is what they look like. They are all individually wrapped, so they're all a mystery with this cute little bow. Okay, now I think it's time to unbox these and see what they're all about. I just love how they packaged this. This really does feel like a Christmas gift, which coincidentally it is one that I got myself early. Let's pull these out of the box. Shut the fuck up. These are our mystery novellas, and something really cool about them is that each of them has this little thing on here, and it describes like what the book is about or what you can expect. They have spice levels on here. This is book 1, and I guess they're all labeled books 1 through 12. They even have the content warnings on here, which is super helpful. So this will be our first novella that we will unwrap. This says what to expect is age gap plus size FMC. There are 4 little fire emojis for the spice level, which is relative for everybody, so I'm not really sure how much I'm gonna put into that because they've determined these themselves, so I'm not sure about that. And then I can't even say the content warnings on here because it's a long list. Just go ahead and unwrap this one and find out what book we're gonna read. I just like the packaging is so cute. Like I don't even want to open it up. They did such a good job with this, I'm not even gonna lie. This is our very first novella. This one is Silver Fox by Kayla Gross. Are you kidding? That is so freaking cute. And look how tiny it is. I'm gonna be so obsessed with just how like small these are, and the cover is super cute. Okay, this one is 179 pages, so a pretty good size for a novella. I'm gonna go ahead and read this and then get back to you guys. Okay, we're back. Day 1 of trying to read 12 novellas in 12 days, and they're all a mystery. The first one that we unwrapped from our package was Silver Fox, and I did read it. I'm gonna rate this one a 3.5. I did not hate it. There were parts that were kind of cringy. Really spicy though. Like on the package, it literally had like 4 little flames, and I was like, okay, like maybe now they were being for real. Like that was really spicy, a lot more than I was expecting. But yeah, I definitely would recommend this book. Some of the parts weren't really my favorite, but I still had a really good time overall. Yes, I did finish it in one day, and now we have book 2 to unwrap, which is this one right here. This one on here, it says Small Town Holiday. Let's unwrap what we're gonna be reading for day 2. I think they're gonna follow the same color scheme. On the back, they have like a quote, so I'm gonna read what's on the back of it and then try to figure out if that'll give me a hint as to what book it is. All right, here's the quote on the back of the book. It says, "This life you've built here, it feels like home to me. You feel like home to me." Let's see what book it is. Ooh, okay. December Midnights by Victoria Wilder, which, do I know her books? Oh, JK. Okay, I definitely recognized one of the books that she has written. She's the author of Bourbon and Lies, which I believe it's not a cowboy romance, but it kind of gives that vibe. Okay, now I'm kind of excited to read this. This is what the cover looks like. Super cute. And I don't know anything about this book, so we're gonna just go in blind. I might look up the synopsis, but yeah, we'll see. And it looks like it's about 165 pages, which is a little bit shorter than this one right here. So I'll report back once I finish reading this, and then we'll unwrap book 3. Okay, hello, we're back. This is day 3. I did finish December Midnights last night, and I'm gonna have to rate this a 3 out of 5 stars. I honestly didn't really care for it too much. I forced myself to kind of get through it a little bit in some parts. Some of it was just really boring. It was also very insta-lovey, and I don't know, it was weird. It was like tried to have some magical realism in there, but without actually like committing to it. So I don't know, it was okay. Like I read it, it was cute-ish. Wouldn't probably read again. So we have our third book to unwrap and figure out what we're gonna read for today. On the front of it, it says Forced Proximity plus Billionaire. I'm not always a huge fan of billionaire romance. We've got 3 little flames for the spice level. And yeah, let's just unwrap it. I actually have no idea. I have no guesses for today. Yeah, I think everything's gonna be this blue color. All right, let's find out what this book is. All right, we have The Recluse by Jenica Snow, which I want to say I do know some of her books. So let's see if they put them in the back. No, they did not. I feel like I have to look it up because I feel like I do know some of her books. I haven't read anything from her, obviously, but yeah, this will be our book for today. And I do think that the cover is really, really cute. We've gotten to see both of their faces now because on all the other covers, it's been either one of the characters' face or neither of their faces. So we got 2 faces on this cover today. I'll report back tomorrow on this one. Okay, it's the same day. I did finish it. We read it. It was literally 107 pages, so fast, such a quick read. Unfortunately, didn't love it. Would rate it 2 stars. To me, it was just kind of boring and nothing super interesting happens in this book, in my opinion. And the only good thing about it was that it was only 100 pages and I got to read it really fast. So there's that. Let's unwrap book number 4 because we're already on book 4 and I'm gonna get a head start of this tonight probably so that when I read it tomorrow I'll have time to start book 5. You know, I'm trying to work ahead here so I can read 12 in 12 days and so far so good. I've read 3 books in 3 days. Very proud of myself. Didn't think I could do this because I've been kind of being bad at reading this entire year. But anyways, let's get book 4. Book 4 says it's an sports romance that is enemies to lovers. Now, I don't know about you. That sounds fun as fuck. I'm excited. And it also has 4 little flames for the spice level. Not that I need to know that at all, but I mean, it's just kind of like a little fun thing that they've included on each of these. I actually have no guesses for this. The only romance books that I've read, or most of them, have been from Talbauer. I don't think he has any novellas like this, so it's probably not him. I don't know, we'll just unwrap it and find out. I do love a sports romance though, so that makes me really excited to read this. That's what it says. Last time to get this guess in before I find out what book it is. It says, we've always been on opposite sides of the ice, always fighting, as if our endless feud is written in the stars. Okay, wait, I literally have no idea, so let's find out. I should have done this the whole time. I should have shown you guys and then I could have revealed it to myself. Oh, I'll do that for the rest of them because that was kind of fun. Oh, this is a cute cover though. Wait, okay. Brutal Titan E.V. Olsen, which I don't think I've ever heard of this author. So this will be kind of fun. Okay, sounds good. Never heard of this author before, never heard of this book before, but it is a hockey romance. And yeah, this looks really cute. All right, I'll report back tomorrow. Okay, we're back. It's day 4. I'm already done. I already finished it. It's like not even noon. So far, I think this is my favorite one of the novella bundle so far. This was very good, but I was not expecting this to be a hybrid of like a sports hockey romance and dark romance. So there's like dark romance elements in here. I mean, there's literally murder. Like, do with that information what you will. Wasn't expecting it at all, by the way. Like, I was like, oh, it's just a hockey romance. Girl! There is some dark romance themes, elements in here, so just beware. Maybe read those content warnings for real because I didn't really read through them. I glanced at them. I think this was a much better use of 110 pages than the other book that we just read, The Recluse. So between the two, because they're about the same length, I liked this one more. I would still only really rate this. I'm going back and forth between 4 and 4.5 because I liked it way more than the other ones, but like 4.5 seems too high because there were still parts about this where I was like really, especially kind of towards the end. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, really? But it was still really good and so far my favorite one that we've read. And because it's day 4 and I'm kind of working ahead of schedule here, let's just go ahead and unwrap day 5 and work ahead because why not? I feel really great about all this. So book 5 says that it is a small town suspense with brother's best friend trope, only one little flame, which again, like, I'm not sure because they've been adding this, but I don't know if I agree with them quite yet, to be honest with you. But yeah, let's just unwrap day 5. I have no idea what this could be. I know a handful of authors who do write the small town suspense like genre, like that's what they do. I think it's like Catherine Cowles. We have Devney, is it Devney Perry? Is that her name? Oh my god, I'm like really blanking. These are authors that I've never read from before, so sorry if I'm forgetting the names, but those are like 2 that really come to mind when it comes to small town suspense. I'm thinking like Catherine Cowles is like probably one of the more popular ones, but I'm not sure if she does novellas. So I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, let's just unwrap it and find out what we've got here. Oh, and then for the, you guys know the drill, for the quote on the back, let's just see if I can figure out what this is. I've always seen you even when I was gone for years. Visions of you played on my mind, played on repeat in my mind. Of course I have to butcher it, like I'm so bad at reading out loud. Please don't judge me. That didn't help. I have no idea what it could be, but if I had to guess for the author, my guess might be Catherine Cowles still, but again, I don't know if she does novellas, so that could be like way off. That was not. All right guys, what's the book? Was I right? Please? I was right. Again, I've never read from Catherine Cowles, but she does the small town suspense. Like I knew that already. Oh my god, I'm so proud of myself for getting it right. The book is Visions of You. It's gonna be my first book from her. I'm so excited. The cover is super cute. Have no idea what this is about. I gotta find out if it's part of a series because part of me feels like it is. So I'm gonna like look into that. But yeah, look at day 5's book. I did not think I'd be able to guess correctly on any of these, so I'm very proud of myself. And then I will read this and report back. That did not take very long at all. This was our shortest novella so far. It was only 84 pages, so of course I read it in the same day that I picked it up. So this is book 5, done on day 4, which I'm like so proud of myself. We're ahead of schedule for our novella challenge. My thoughts on Visions of You, I thought it was okay. I'm actually really surprised that she was able to cram in an entire romantic suspense plot within 84 pages. Like it had a really fleshed out conflict and solution and tension and suspense in there, which was really nice, and a little bit of romance splashed in there as well. I thought it was a really well-rounded novella for what it was, but again, it's still just like, in my opinion, I'm not trying to like judge it based on the length because I know that like if it was longer I would have liked it more, but I did kind of just be like, eh, you know, it was okay. Like I wouldn't read it again, but I'm glad that I read it and it was fun. So that was this one. And now we have book 6 to unwrap. On this one it says taboo plus sports romance, college sports romance, excuse me. The taboo part is the one that's getting me, and I'm trying to think like who does taboo sports romance, and I can't think of a single. I mean, that's not true. We already had a hockey romance, so I feel like it's not gonna be a hockey book. I wanna say it's gonna be a different sport. If it's a hockey book, like I won't be surprised, but something's telling me that it won't be that. Oh, age gap relationship. Hold on, that like really kind of, okay. You know what, I have no guesses. I don't even have an author guess for this one, to be honest with you. Let's just unwrap it and find out. The quote on the back, she's a little, okay. It says, you don't think I watch you every second of practice, burning the image of your body into my mind. Okay, so just based on that, it has to be a coach-athlete type of dynamic. And for the love of God, I cannot think of a single one. The only other one that I can think of is one I've read, which was Coach Me by Shanora Williams, which I really liked. So if that's this, I would have to, it would be a reread for me. But that's the only other one I can think of. Or like Lucia Franco also does. There was like a whole series though where it was gymnastics and he was her coach or something like that. I think that's the, okay, anyways, those are my guesses based on the quote, but let's find out. And of course you get to find out first. Am I right? Let's reveal. Treading Water. Oh my god, okay, so it's not a hockey romance. Okay, I have never heard of this author either, but I'm really excited. Well, this will be our book for day 5/day 6, since this is the 6th novella, and once I finish this one, we will already be halfway done with our reading challenge, which is, it's crazy that I've gotten to the halfway mark already once I finish this book. So yeah, I will read this and then report back as usual. Okay, so you know how I said like I was working ahead because I read 2 books in one day, and I was like, cool, we're ahead of schedule. We're back on track though, because I did take 2 days to read Treading Water because I've been working, it's the holiday season, I'm tired, but I'm still trying to make the challenge work, so I did need the 2 days to finish this. And I do have thoughts on this. At first I really liked it, but then somewhere in between I was just like, I had so many feelings and thoughts about this book, and I feel like I need to like dedicate more time to talking about like what I think went wrong, because normally I love age gap. I am a huge fan of that trope when I used to be a hater of it, but this kind of just made me a hater again. Like, this is a book that would make you think, yeah, for sure an 18-year-old and a 31-year-old could not be together. That was this couple. So on that note, we're going to open up book number 7 because I'm really excited to see what this is going to be all about. This has the highest spice level of any of the other books that we have read so far. On the what to expect, it says it's a dark MFM with a revenge plot. So again, I don't really have any guesses for what that could be. Let's unwrap the book and find out. Or what the quote says on here, it says, "Those men were going to meet the devil tonight, and I would be the one to introduce them." Let's find out what the book is, but of course you get to find out first, which I think is kind of fun. What's the book? Is it a good one? Please tell me it's a good one. I'm only laughing because I definitely read on here that it was MFM, and I was still confused as to why there were 3 people on the cover of this book. It is Dead Devil's Night by Mari Rose, which again, it's an author I've never heard of before, but I am loving this cover. I actually think this might be my favorite one so far of all of the novellas that we've read so far. Okay, let's read this and then I'll come back with my update. Okay, we're back and we have read Dead Devil's Night, and I'm just gonna say, I thought I was gonna really like this book, to be honest with you. It is a very dark romance with lots of very triggering content. You would need content warnings for, obviously it's just a really dark book. This book, we didn't start off on a good note, and it started badly on the content warning page. Like, I'm reading the content warnings and there's like a page before it that says, hey, if you don't need content warnings, you can skip to the story, like just the regular book. But if you want to see the list, go to the next page. So I'm like, go to the next page. I would like to know what I'm getting myself into, thank you very much. And it's like a paragraph, and it was like weirdly worded where it was like, I know this is the part where like I would give you like a long list of content warnings, and this is a short novella, so you really like don't need them, or like it's just like one. And then they list off like blank, 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 right? And I'm rolling my eyes because I was like, this is so broad. It wasn't like a content warning list, it was like a paragraph explaining how these content warnings are like applied, but it wasn't done in a way that I thought was beneficial to me as the reader at all. Like, and so I already had a problem with that. It just left a sour taste in my mouth. And then as I'm reading, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, all of this super crazy shit is happening. It's very violent. The warning was just not sufficient enough, so I have beef with this book because of that. And this would have been something that I did like. Only positive thing I can say about this book is that the pacing was really good and it kept you engaged in the story. Everything else I fucking hated, so would not recommend. And I do have beef with the way that the content warnings were delivered. I will not actually get over that ever. Yeah, there's my thoughts on that book. We have book number 8. We are on book 8, which is kind of crazy. I am still on track to finishing this in 12 days. Very proud of myself, go me. On the what to expect, it is just a historical interracial, which interracial, like couple, I'm assuming. The word is not there, so I'm assuming that's what they meant, but historical, which is exciting. I hope it's like, it doesn't say historical romance, but this is Probably Smut, so it has to be a romance book. I don't have any guesses either, but if it is a historical romance, one of my favorite genres of all time, so I'm really excited. So let's go ahead and open her up. Oh, the quote on the back is quite the quote. It says, "I can make a meal out of you." We'll find out. I still have no guesses for this book, but here is the reveal. Very excited to find out what book this is. What? This is an Adriana Herrera book. Now I'm really excited. I have read from this author before. She has written some of my favorite historical romances specifically, and Island Princess starts a scandal. Sorry, I had to look at the book because the book's on my shelf. I had to remind myself of the title. This looks really fun. This is The Duke Makes Me Feel, and it is okay, so this is a historical romance. This one is 151 pages, so it's a little bit longer than some of the other ones that we just read, so hopefully I can finish this in one day. If not, it'll be done in 2, and everyone will just have to forgive me. Okay, it is several days later. What happened? Well, I got so violently sick on the evening of Christmas Eve that I was basically out for several days. I can't even remember how many days I have actually wasted just like on my couch scrolling TikTok because I felt so sick. I was puking all day on Christmas. So I had not a great holiday. Luckily, I'm not celebrating with my family on that day. I'm celebrating it much later, but still, it was just like the worst I had ever felt in such a long time. So that kind of delayed our challenge here a little bit. We will be taking this into 2025 because we're only like 2 days away from the new year and I just don't have it in me to read 4 books. We're gonna just keep it pushing along, but yeah, huge delay in this challenge. I felt so awful, but we can talk about book 8, which was The Duke Makes Me Feel, which I think is gonna be my favorite one out of the entirety of this challenge so far. I really liked this one. Adriana Herrera is just a fantastic author. She is so magical when she writes and it's good every single time. There's just no disappointment whatsoever. It was such a good story. It was spicy. It had pretty much everything that you could want. And with it only being 150 pages, it's just like so mind-blowing that you got like a full story with great characters, great chemistry, a great love story. Like this was everything you could have wanted and asked for. So I had a great time with this one. Highly, highly recommend. And now we can unbox book 9, which is this one right here. I think it's gonna be about the same size as the book we just read. Here it says What to Expect. It is a paranormal Why Choose with 5 flames. Usually Why Choose is kind of up there in like the flame category, so I understand. Really excited to see what this is. It's paranormal, which I'm excited about. Kind of switches up from the contemporary romances that we have been reading in this challenge. Yeah, I have no guesses for what this could be, so let's just unbox it and find out what it is. Oh, okay. Okay, so the little quote on the back is giving us a little bit of a hint. It says, pack of pretty werewolves that are always on my mind, plus an inability to imagine my life without them equals mine. Huh. So it's werewolves. So we kind of know what the paranormal aspect of this is gonna be. I still cannot think of anything. An author that comes to mind like right away is Sarah Blue, because I know I think she does paranormal. I don't know if she does anything with werewolves though. So I don't know why she's coming to mind right now. I've never read anything from her, but it's definitely on my TBR. So let's just see what the book is going to be. And of course you guys get to see first to see if my guess is correct. Oh, okay. This one is My Stepsister is a Vampire by K.L. Mann, which I think I've read books by that author before. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Actually, one of my favorite Halloween novellas is written by this author right here. So I'm actually really excited. And for the first time in this entire novella challenge, this is a cover with only 1 character on it. So this is really interesting. But yeah, super cute. I actually love this cover. It's really cool. And I'm super excited to read this and let you guys know what I think. I'll report back and let you guys know what I think. Happy New Year. It is 2025 now. And we're still in this challenge. I really wish I could have left this challenge in 2024. Alas, that did not happen, but we did finish book number 9, so we can discuss my thoughts on this. A moment of silence for my brain. I don't really have much to say on this book, except there is such thing as too much smut. I think there is a point where we have to like ask ourselves, is this really necessary? / can we even handle this within 150 pages? You know, asking for a friend, I don't know. It was a lot. This is a Why Choose, and there are 6 individuals involved in this. So 6 POVs that we are getting and 150 pages. I can barely handle 150 pages amongst 2 characters going back and forth. I can't even imagine adding 4 to the mix. So yeah, 6 characters was much too many to handle. I did rate it 3 stars. I didn't hate it, absolutely, but there was a whole lot of nothing happening and a whole lot of something. It was like nothing and something. It was too much. I will have to shelf that. I did like the concept of the book though. Like I liked all the parts were there. I think that if this book were meant to be like longer, it would have been able to execute a lot of the things that it wanted to accomplish so much better. Unfortunately, it just like didn't have that opportunity. So it's hard to judge it when I'm like, it has potential, but it wasn't given the, okay, whatever. We can move on to book number 10. We have 3 more books left in this challenge. I am determined to finish this challenge and post this video. I've thought about quitting a couple of times, but we're not gonna do that. For book number 10, this one is a rom-com plus kink exploration. I think I know who is gonna be the author for this because this sounds like Evie Mitchell. So if that's not her, I'm gonna be really shocked. Like when I first saw this, I was like, that has to be her. So If it's not, I will be shocked. We'll see. All right, you know the drill at this point. We do the quote. Only when we are free of inhibitions will we truly awaken. If this isn't her freaking book, I'm just gonna be so shocked. Like, I'm gonna be so shocked. I'm so confident. It's the one that I'm the most confident on. This is about to be really, really embarrassing for me, but let's find out. Please tell me I'm right. Please fucking tell me I'm right. Please. Okay. Remember when I said it'd be really embarrassing if I was super confident and was wrong? I was wrong. Okay, this one is Novice by Fiona Wolf, which is like, this is such a cute cover. I think out of all the covers we've gotten for these books, this one might be one of my favorites. Yeah, this is nice. And I've actually never heard of this author / don't know any of her books, so I'm gonna look up these synopses once I'm done here, and then we'll go from there. But you know the drill. We'll be back once this book is finished. I am sad to report that this was a DNF. I decided not to finish it. I got about 50 pages in before I was like, you know what, let me not torture myself with the rest of this book. I want to say it started with the very vivid descriptions of all of the bodily functions that really started to like make me feel a little queasy. Like I don't need to know in detail how a character goes to the bathroom. It's just not something that I personally want to experience. But also the entire premise of this was just so ridiculous. I had a really hard time suspending my disbelief, like being like, it's a fiction book and it's like made up and whatever. I just like couldn't get past the fact this would like never happen in real life. And yeah, this is gonna be hopefully our only DNF of this entire challenge. I really wanted to finish all these books, but I cannot force myself to do this one. So we are not gonna read this one and we're gonna move on. We have book 11, which means we're only 2 books away from completing the challenge. This one says, what you can expect is forced proximity, meet cute, which leads me with literally no guesses. I have no clue, but it is a little bit shorter than some of the other books, so hopefully I can finish this in one day once again. Let's open it up and find out what we're gonna read next. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I think I can figure out what this is based on the quote, and I wasn't even gonna read it out loud, but we're gonna do it anyway. I've been thinking about tasting you since I sat down next to you on the plane, which I have read a book about a meet cute on a plane, and then they like, you know, they basically do it on a plane or whatever. And it's The Stranger in, what's the freaking book title? It's like The Stranger in 3B or something like that by Nikki, oh my god, it's Nikki Saint something. I really hate when I come up blank, but anyways, that's my guess. That's my final guess. If I'm wrong, once again, we're just gonna have to like live with that embarrassment, but please shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. This is actually going to be a reread for me because I've already read this book. I read it last year. I actually really liked it. It was really fun, a really good spicy novella. Oh, I love this cover too. Like that, I love this cover. Guys, I'm still in disbelief that I was able to guess the exact book and almost the author. I literally just came up blank. I knew it was Nikki something, but I have read this before. I do really like it. I am gonna just go ahead and give it a reread because why not? And then I'll report back with my thoughts on how I feel about it after the second read. All right, it's the next day. We're back and I did get to read this. It is a reread for me because I've already read this book, but I really liked it on the reread actually. I was like, dang, I kind of forgot like how good this was or how much fun it is to read. It's a really short novella, but you do get like a full-blown story in there. I really like the way that 2 characters meet, and I like everything else that transpires too. It's just a really good, well-rounded novella. For only 115 pages, I feel like it's such a good read, totally worth it. So I highly recommend this one. And guys, we're on our very last book of the challenge. I'm really excited to like finally wrap this up and be done, but also this is the last one, which is kind of sad. We've had quite the adventure with this novella challenge, and I'm really excited to see how I'm gonna feel about this very last one. It is the shortest one, I think. Like this is so thin, so this should not take me very long. For book 12, it says that it is a dark motorcycle club romance. For my guesses this time, I have read a really short dark motorcycle club romance from an author. I believe her name was Jade Hernandez. That one was really good. It was really short. And also Gianna Darling is another one that is very famous for her motorcycle club romances. So those are my 2 guesses. We'll see what this is. And last time to unwraps. All right, we've got the quote. Okay, we have to just keep up with the quote. It says, you're all mine. Wait, okay. You're all mine. You know that, right? I'm not letting you go now, not ever. That does not ring any bells, so I just don't know based on the quote, but let's just reveal the book to, of course, you guys first. I kind of hope it's not an author I've already read from, because I've been enjoying reading new to me authors, but if it is an author that I've already read from, I mean, that'll be like a guaranteed good read. So let's find out what book this is. What? Okay, this is Off Limits by Ruby Dixon, which we love Ruby Dixon in this house, so I'm really excited. I did not know. I know Ruby Dixon from her Ice Planet Barbarians series, so the fact that this is Dark Motorcycle Club, I just was not expecting her at all, but I'm really excited. This is gonna be really fun. It's also 67 pages, so yes, I will be reading this today and reporting back. This will take me no time at all. I'm back just several hours later, and we have finished all 12 of our mystery novellas from this reading challenge. I'm super excited to be done with this challenge. There have been some highs, some very low lows, and we're gonna recap it all right here, right now. We last left off, I had unboxed Off Limits by Ruby Dixon, and I've read it. It literally took me not that long. It was only 67 pages, and it was a fun time. I actually really enjoyed this. There were a couple things that happened that had me rolling my eyes, but other than that, it was a pretty decent book, and that's how we ended off our novella challenge. And here's what all the books look stacked up together. I like how they went for the like ombre spine thing, like that was really fun. And to wrap up this video, we're just going to rank them really quick. I'm gonna do my least favorite to my most favorite. Let's go through each one. My least favorite one is obviously gonna be the one that I DNF'd, which was Novice. No offense, but this book was utter garbage. And the more I think about it, the more I'm glad that I decided to stop reading it when I did. It's better to like save your time instead of trying to trudge through a book that you don't like. So I'm glad I DNF'd it. Then we have Dead Devil's Night. I had a really big issue with the content warnings in this, the content warning page. Very dismissive, did not love that. And overall, the story just like wasn't good enough to redeem itself from how bad the content warning page was. We have the third book that I read, which was The Recluse. I just remember this not having anything really like that special about it, and it was not super memorable. Then we have Treading Water, which I rated 2.5 stars. It's actually pretty hopeful that I would like this, but this is a book that reminds you like, yeah, maybe age gap just like shouldn't be happening in the first place. Now we're getting into our 3-star books. I rated 4 of the books 3 stars, and here's how I would rank them respectively. My least favorite of the 3-star books was December Midnights. I think that this one had a lot of potential, but there were some really boring parts, and the magical realism just like wasn't doing it for me. We then have My Stepsister is a Vampire. This one just had way too much going on, too many characters, not enough time to really get to know each one. I could not handle it. Our next book is Visions of You. I didn't necessarily dislike this book. I just don't think it was long enough to really like get too attached to the characters. I did like that it had like a good suspense plot though, and the fact that she was able to do it in such a little amount of time was really impressive. We then have the book I just finished, which was Off Limits. I liked it. When I look at it based on all the other books I've read in this challenge, I rank it a little bit higher of the 3-star books. But yeah, there were only like a couple parts that I really had like, ooh, like that just gave me the ick. Other than that, it was enjoyable. We have Silver Fox, which is the very first book we started with. I rated this 3.5. I really did like it. I think it's actually one of the better ones now that I'm looking at all of them like together. This is one of the better ones in the stack. I think it has a good story. It's spicy. It's got everything that you want in a spicy novella short story type book. Now we're getting into our 4-star rated books, which 4 stars was the highest rating that I gave any of the 12 books. So these are gonna be considered my top 3. In the number 3 spot, I have to give it to Brutal Titan. I really like this book. This was a pleasant surprise. It's a dark hockey romance book. Something that I never thought would go together is dark romance and sports romance, but this was very shocking. I just really like the enemies to lovers aspect of this entire book. It was fun to read. I did really enjoy it, and it would make me want to read more from this particular author as well. We have a book that I already have read. This is my number 2 book. This is The Stranger in 8B. I've already read this book. I read this last year, and so it was a pleasant surprise to be able to reread a book that I had, you know, already read on my own without the challenge influencing my reading. So this was really fun to reread. I really liked it. I gave it the exact same rating that I gave it last year. My feelings about it really didn't change much. It was still really fun, super enjoyable. If anything, I liked it even a little bit more than when I read it the first time. The final book, my favorite book of this entire novella challenge, has to go to The Duke Makes Me Feel by Adriana Herrera. This was so good. Like everything that you need in a book, it's like right here, and it's only in like 150 pages. Like there's nothing more that I could ask for. This is a historical romance, and I love a good historical romance, and Adriana Herrera just writes really beautiful stories, and I'm really glad that this book was included. I think that was a really good choice compared to all the other books in this challenge. This is definitely hands down the best one in every aspect. And here's all those books stacked together, my favorite to my least least favorite. I just want to thank you guys so much for following me along on this challenge. It's been quite the journey. I got sick halfway through. I didn't abandon this challenge the way that I thought I was going to. I stuck with it, and I'm really glad I did because it was a blast and a great way to end 2024 and bring in 2025. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked this video, give it a like, subscribe. All of your support means the absolute world to me because I love making videos like this, and I hope to do more fun reading challenges in the future.